Hey, guess what? Fidel Castro's passed away. That's from Democracy Now! Fidel Castro, leader. He died at 90. That's pretty good. Pretty good for a guy who was a revolutionary. Those guys have a low life expectancy. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, if you're going to take over a place, make it an island.
Make it an island. Damn right.
Yeah.
Very smart. So here's what they say at Democracy Now! They go, he died on Friday at the age of 90. His death came 60 years to the day after he, his brother Raul, Che Guevara, and 80 others set sail from Mexico in 1956 to begin what became the Cuban Revolution to oust the U.S.-backed Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista. Now, Batista fled the island in 1959, and the Castros have led Cuba ever since. The Cuban Revolution would inspire revolutionary efforts across the globe and lead Castro to become one of the arch enemies of the United States. Americans don't like revolutions. We don't like Americans are capitalists. They don't like democracies. So when the Arabs wanted to spread democracy around the Middle East, we squashed it. When Cuba, right, they try to spread democracies that actually help the people, we try to everything we can to squash it. Same thing in South America. Whatever our corporations want, that's what we do. Hey, is there a smaller, poorer country that a corporation wants to take some of their natural resources? We'll go help you overthrow that government and take their natural resources. That's what America does. It is said that Castro survived over 600 assassination attempts, many orchestrated by the CIA. Imagine if Cuba had 600 attempts on our presidents. How long before you think we dropped a nuke on them? Fidel Castro, 600 attempts on our president. Across the developing world, Fidel Castro was viewed as a hero who stood up to Washington and offered support for anti-colonial struggles. That's so weird. You never hear that perspective in America. Do you ever hear that perspective in America?
Anti-colonial?
You never hear that but said he was a hero in developing worlds. You never hear that. You never hear that. You just hear Castro bad, communism bad. Castro was admired by leftists and people of the developing world who saw him as a revolutionary champion of the poor. But he was vilified by many who viewed him as a dictator who oppressed Cubans and ruined the economy through socialism. Yeah, he ruined the economy through socialism by giving everybody free health care and free education. And then he engineered a economic blockade from the superpower 70 miles to their north. But here's what some other leaders said. Fidel as a man, Fidel as a brother, a great human being, Fidel as a politician, a great revolutionary. Fidel Castro is a great teacher in principles and values, a teacher of revolutionaries. His fight has not only been for the Cuban people, nor for the people of Latin America. The fight of Fidel has been for the people of the world that fought for freedom. Who said that? That was the Bolivian president, Evo Morales. You never hear that. To the people of Cuba, here's someone else. To the people of Cuba, your pain is ours. Fidel Castro belonged to you as much as he belonged to us. And we all believe that. We all know that at some point, one has to transition to the other world. And I think in his case, he is a proud man, having helped many struggles around the world to achieve freedom. Who said that? Some other dictator? Who said that? Was it some weirdo right-wing? Was it Putin? Who said that? Oh, my God, there was the chief executive at the Nelson Mandela Foundation. Really? So all that shit our government said about Fidel Castro turns out was bullshit? Well, push me over with a feather. I can't believe. I bet you Saddam Hussein wasn't what they said either. I bet he didn't have weapons of mass destruction. I bet tax cuts don't create jobs. I bet Social Security isn't bankrupt. I bet single payer is more efficient. I mean, if they're lying about Castro, what the fuck aren't they lying about? They're lying about everything. Your government lies. Just whenever your government tells you something, just assume they're lying. And I mean Barack Obama's government. I mean who's ever in power. Just assume they're lying. So they said he was very unpopular, but not that what Reuters says. Reuters says, Viva Fidel. Tens of thousands pay their last respects to Cuba. To the Cuban. Here we go. Here's a video of it.
The day began with a thunderous 21-gun salute, and tens of thousands of Cubans paying last respects to their beloved late leader, Fidel Castro. They're lining Revolution Square for a 2-day commemoration.
I am paying homage to my leader, Fidel Castro, upon his death. I am honoring him because everything I am, I owe to him.
Nah, they hate him. They hate him. You know, the Cubans in America hate Fidel. You know why? Because they were the rich Cubans that were oppressing their own people. And that's why they took their money and they came here. That's why they don't like him. So just keep that in mind. America exports bombs. Cuba exports doctors. Look at that. It's so weird that our government's totally bullshitting us about Fidel Castro. That's what it seems like. I don't know. I'm sure he was horrible. I'm sure he tortured people. I wonder if he used our torture facility or he built his own. Did he just go to Guantanamo or did he have to build his own? That's me being smug.